Nah. I said over the same thing. Over and over. Over and over. Over and over. Tell everybody the same thing.
That's how I want to sing. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. This is Saucy and Friends in the morning. And we did it. We did it. We did it. It is officially Friday. It is the weekend. It's been long. It's been emotional. It's been fun. But we are here. We did it, everybody. We did it. Yes. All right. That's what I'm talking about. We're happy. We have a great show lined up for you guys today. Sorry we're a little tardy to the party, but as you guys know, we usually start the show around this time anyhow. With that said, let's do a quick check-in so we can get to all the fun. Miss Tony, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm feeling good. I am excited about, I don't even know what I'm excited about, but I'm just excited. I feel excitement.
There's so many things to do this weekend. There
are so many things to do, and this is why I brought my work computer with me here to the station, because I'm going to be working simultaneously.
Wow.
Because
what is the word?
Simultaneously.
Yes.
Because when I get out of here, I want to get out of here. And so I want to go. I want to be outside.
Where are you going to go?
I don't know, but it's supposed to be like 84 degrees today.
Is it?
It is. And this is the thing is I thought it was going to be 84 degrees. I put shorts on the young man, brought him outside. It's cold and raining. And I feel badly. But
all right.
It's going to be nice by the time we get out.
Little kids are resilient. They feel no cold except if they're in the pool and then they start shaking like a little puppy and then you got to pull them out.
But how sweet is this kid? He says to me this morning, "Mommy, after school, can we go on a date?" And I was like, "Yes."
That's what he said?
Yes. And then he said, "But Mommy, is date appropriate?"
He's a saga boy from early.
Is date appropriate? Like, is it something that we're not supposed to do? And I said, no. Whenever somebody likes somebody and they like to spend time with them, it's a date. So yes, we can go on a date.
I wish my son would take it that way. He was going to Florida this weekend, and he was like, "Ooh, those girls are gonna be all over me."
He's such a hot boy.
What? I said, CK, please go brush your teeth and stop speaking to me in the morning.
He's got game too. Yesterday he was like, "Ooh, Tony, look at your nails. You look like a rich woman."
Oh, a rich woman.
I was like, "You better say that, boy." Word.
Those girls are gonna be all over me.
He's got game. That's CK. He's
I'm a little afraid.
Well, he's a king. You know how they do.
Oh, that's true.
Where did they learn this
from the daddy.
Oh.
Yeah.
From the daddy, because when you breed with a Trinidadian, you have to risk a lot of things.
When I was younger, my mother told me, Tristan, you can have as many girlfriends as you want, as you could do what you want.
Yep.
And, I don't think that's the best advice to give young men.
Yep. No, it's true. It's true.
Because we keep that with us.
Trinidadian men. What Trinidadian men give? What do they give their sons? Long eyelashes and what else?
And the
horn
key to
horn key to horn and long eyelashes.
The footnotes of how to horn properly.
Now my next baby daddy's gonna be no, it ain't. That's all. Last night I told my roommate, I said, "You're the reason why my next husband's gonna be a woman." Yo, once you live with a woman, it's different. It's different than living with a man. It's a lot different. You be like, I might
think about it.
I might lick a tit. I might. But anyhow, I feel good. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to a lot of things. We have Boston Rob in the building today. That's super exciting. And then there's lots of things going on this weekend. Of course, the Mother's Day Walk for Peace is happening on Sunday.
Yes, sir.
That's going to be amazing. It's going to be a really, really good time. Tomorrow is Javi's baby shower, which he is super excited. I say Javi's baby shower because he's so excited about it. So it's Javi Shanice's baby shower. There's a lot of other things going on this weekend.
There's also RCC 50th year anniversary of RCC. It started yesterday. Today
they're
doing their commencement and graduation today, and tomorrow Tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
So tomorrow is the big block party that
Yes.
they're taking over the whole RCC. So people, make sure that you guys go down there and you support you support our HBCU.
Our HBCU.
Boston's
right here.
HBCU.
In the heart of Boston. So that's going to be lit. There's going to be a step show. There's a drum line. There's the
Panel
movie
discussion.
screening, panel discussion. It's going to be amazing. So, really, really good weekend coming up. And I think Saucy's going to get into it. I think that the weather is supposed to be
And last
holding
but
up
not
pretty well.
least, Mother's Day.
Yes,
Yes,
Mother's
well, of course.
Mother's Day.
Of course.
Yeah. It's going to be a wicked weekend.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm excited.
The pollen
Me
is
too.
the only thing that's messing it up.
Oh, the pollen got my baby
outta
in a
here.
chokehold. Good
Oh
Lord.
my gosh! Did I send you the picture of Noah's face yesterday?
No.
His left eye was completely closed, and there was like this film of stuff covering his face, and then he's been getting frequent nosebleeds because of the allergies.
Oh,
too.
no.
So I'm like, oh, hell.
CK and I were up all night with his wheezing that I had to make an
Oh, yeah.
urgent care appointment today to go
Yes.
see the doctor to actually get, because I was nervous. I refused to sleep last night. So
Yeah.
I'm literally off of maybe like 2 hours of sleep because I was like, if I fall asleep, what if something happens to him?
Yeah.
His wheezing is so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. We tried an inhaler, nebulizer, nothing has helped. I'm about to lock the boy inside and put the AC on for the
That's
rest of his
it.
good
That's
life.
it. That's what you
He
got to
can't
do.
go outside and play. It's
That's
going to be
what
a
you gotta
tablet
do.
full summer.
Poor thing.
Anyways, let's get into the show because we got a lot of grounds to cover today. Like Miss Tony said, we have I Am Boston in the building. Rob, the one of the owners of Hugh Boston, our newest. How do we describe that? Our newest social. It's a something to go to.
You feel like
You be like,
ooh, I'm here.
you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Hugh tonight.
I know, like,
I feel like going to Hugh tonight.
every weekend. Saucy's like, what are you doing tonight? Like, we can go to Hugh, or
Because you want to dress up and you want to be, you want to
Yes.
go where people know your name and they dress up and they smell good and they buy drinks.
and they look good.
Yes.
and it feels good.
Yes.
It feels good.
So we'll talk about all of that later on in the show, but let's get started. Saucy and Friends in the Morning officially starts right now.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information. Call Spark FM at 617-272-3387.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
The all-new Spark FM.
Hey. So today is Friday, May 12th. It's approximately 9:25. We will have a mix of clouds and sun, high in 84 degrees. It's a high 84 degrees. It's a high 84 degrees. It's a high of 84 degrees. Do y'all hear me out there today? Get naked, people. Get naked because summertime is here. Winds in the west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's going to be a low of 60 if we don't reach all the way. And there's a 40% chance of some participation for some rain today. Maybe kind of a little bit. We participating in the weather today.
Absolutely.
So yes, we might have some isolated thunderstorms, but they'll probably, because it's hot, so we got to come and cool it down, and then it's going to be hot again. So put on your poom shorts, your fishnets, get ready for flex on the 28th, and that's it.
Shout out to Miss J on that one. Yesterday we were discussing our
Attire?
outfits for flex. Miss J got an outfit.
I already told you I'm not going to keep telling you I don't want nobody to copy my outfit. Poom shorts, fishnets, and our boots.
Ooh, and our boots.
And our boots.
Yes.
All right, let's get into it. MBTA says riders can't eat or drink on the T.
Yeah?
Yep, nope, that's not gonna work.
How come?
It's a rule.
Let's nip that one in the bud right now. If you ever woken yourself up with a cup of coffee on your morning tea ride to work or scarf down a breakfast sandwich as you waited for the next train, you've broken a little known MBTA rule. No food or drink inside the stations or trains. The transit agency's Twitter sent out a reminder on Monday asking riders to help keep the tea clean by avoiding eating or drinking while in vehicles and stations. This was news to several Twitter users who were puzzled by the rules, not least because this was the first they were hearing about it. I've never heard about this rule before in my good life.
On the bus, it does tell you you're not
do
supposed
it.
to. Yes.
I thought it just say don't smoke. I thought the only thing that I couldn't do on the tea was smoke a little.
You know what? I don't know.
I don't think you've
I might
seen
be talking out my rash.
I know, because that doesn't make sense to me, because every tea station has a snack place or a drink
Dunkin'
place,
Donuts,
a Dunkin' Donuts,
yeah.
or something like that. So
in actuality, the rule against drinking and eating on the tea has been in place since at least September 2022. And you can find it outlined on the MBTA's website. An MBTA spokesperson told the news that this wasn't a new change. It is still a new change. It was just September.
It is. Yeah.
Stop it. Food and drink must remain in closed containers. Please be considerate and avoid eating or drinking on the MBTA vehicles as in stations. But as Boston Globe editor Tim Logan noted, many MBTA stations sell food inside, encouraging passengers to flout the agency's own rules. Did you know that you're not allowed to eat or drink on the tea? Tell us if you've been breaking the rules by filling out the survey below. That sounds like snitch on yourself.
Yep.
Snitch on yourself so we
snitch
can figure this out, how to get you guys to snitch on everybody else. But there is a survey. Did you know you can't eat inside the MBTA vehicles or stations? Let me fill out this. No. First time I'm hearing. Do you eat on the tea? Yes, regularly. Tell us what you think about the MBTA's. It's stupid. It's stupid. Stupid. How do you spell stupid? Oh no, it asks for my name, so forget it. But yes, people who ride the tea and all the things as such, you can no longer eat or drink on the tea. So eat and drink before you get on the tea. And that's it.
Crazy.
That's the rules. And you guys got to follow the rules. What would happen if you do? What happens if you do?
Well, I mean, try it and see. I mean, what are they gonna do? The tea police gonna come arrest you?
Could be. Take your bagel and smack it out your hand. then that ensues violence, because how you do that? Because now we got to fight on the tea.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
A Burlington firefighter, former dog training facility owner, faces animal cruelty. And you know, animal cruelty in America is not something that we take lightly. They would rather you be cruel to a black person than be cruel to an animal. That is a felony.
That's
Class
true.
A. A Burlington firefighter who used to run a dog training facility is now facing possible prison time after customers said their dogs were abused at Falco Canine in South Boston. He could barely pick his head up because he was so hungry and so exhausted, she said. He looked at me and was like, "Oh, Mom, thank you. But he was almost scared to get up." I just don't feel like the dog said that, but...
You know, dogs be saying things now. Nowadays, people are buying them little things where the dogs can press to talk.
Is that true?
Yeah, you haven't seen the videos?
No.
The dogs be like, "Shut up, bitch."
Oh, yes. Oh, those little thingies.
Shut up.
Foster said she brought her 5-month-old dog, Watch. His name is Watch, to get house trained at the kennel in February. She shares photos from when she picked Watch up 2 weeks later, showing the emancipated dog with his ribs visibly through his coat. Oh no, that is mean. So he was just training the dogs. He was forced training them. Go to the clip, because I'm interested in seeing what the people be doing with people's dogs. That's why I gotta keep my dog at home.
Southern's Kimberly Bookman live in South Boston.
I got a dog.
Show us more. It's tough to hear this story, Kimberly.
Kim, we are live here at the facility where you can see over my shoulder there is a handwritten note that says the place is permanently closed. This Burlington firefighter and former owner of a dog training facility now facing prison time. 30-year-old Tyler Falconer is accused of abusing and neglecting animals while operating Falco Canine in South Boston. Lindsay Foster says she brought her 5-month-old Rhodesian Ridgeback named Watch to get house trained at Falconer's kennel in February. She shared these pictures of the emaciated puppy.
Oh, no.
His ribs visible through his coat.
Oh, no, that's not okay.
She says she picked him up 2 weeks later.
He could barely pick his head up because he was so hungry
Looks like.
and so exhausted. He looks at me and he's like, "Oh, Mom, thank you. But he was almost like scared to get up.
Lindsay says when she took her pup home, she noticed scrapes and cuts all over his body and a
no.
puncture wound on his foot.
What is he burning him with a
She
cigar?
went to a vet and says the doctor told her Watch was on the verge of septic shock.
Oh my
I
God.
kept calling Falco, being like, I'm not mad. I just, like, dogs are dogs. I just, like, what happened to his foot? No one would tell me anything. They closed ranks. Something happened. I don't know what. And I don't know if I'll ever find out.
Lindsay says she reported the situation to the Animal Rescue League. She came to learn there were many other dog owners with similar complaints.
Oh, wow.
In March, as these allegations were investigated, the town of Burlington pulled Falconer off the job, citing this situation along with a separate accusation of misconduct against him. And now, months after Lindsay dropped her beloved pet off at Falco Canine, prosecutors are charging Falconer with animal cruelty.
Yeah, he's going to jail for the rest of his life. You know that this is not okay.
A copy of the criminal complaint in which the ARL charges that Falconer mistreated dogs at his business. The town will now be determining how to proceed in that matter.
Look at poor Mike Vick. He still ain't. Is it Mike Vick?
Yeah.
Yeah, he still ain't been able to get over this yet, because he's still getting all kind of death threats for killing dogs and or fighting with dogs. This person is not going to survive. You cannot do that to people's dogs. What you not? Why you not feeding them? And these people pay a lot of money to train their dogs. So when you are not even feeding them, that's just not okay.
Yeah, he's gonna go to jail for a long time.
Yeah, definitely going to jail for a long, long time.
Yeah.
For a firefighter too, that's crazy.
I know. Why would you do that? Massachusetts SNAP benefits. All of you blue card holders, Massachusetts SNAP scam victims set to receive state-funded reimbursement. Was I scammed? I feel like I was scammed. I want to get in on this. Massachusetts is reimbursing some victims of SNAP benefit theft. The state-funded one-time replacement will cover funds lost from skimming, phishing, or similar electronic fraud from April through September. The Department of Transitional Assistance announced Thursday. This follows Governor Healy's signing of a supplemental budget that included $2 million to replace stolen benefits not covered by the Congressional Consolidated Appropriation. How did they get stolen? The reimbursements will begin May 12th, and victims should expect a text message or email from the state. DTA said recipients should change PIN numbers frequently or set up direct deposit to be protected against scams. DTA staff members will not ask for a PIN number. SNAP is the first line of defense against hunger and supports our local grocery stores and farmers. Our state is a leader in providing households with replacement SNAP benefits not covered by the federal government and will continue to provide food security in Massachusetts. How are they getting scammed? Does this include people that buy food snaps off of other people? That's not a scam.
No, that's not a scam.
That
is an entrepreneurship.
That's entrepreneurship. That is trading. That's
is
bartering.
Bartering.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is real scam.
Yeah. People was taking people's snaps.
Who got? I hope I get a text message.
I never got scammed, but
How you know?
because my money, I don't know. I don't know.
Because you spent your
Maybe
money.
I did get scammed.
You don't know if you got scammed. You gotta just send let's send the email. We want in.
We want to know.
But it's interesting
Did
because
we
they
get
don't
scammed?
they don't tell you anything about what the scam is. They just said like phishing, phishing, skimming, and similar electronic fraud. So maybe the people are rubbing off the numbers like they do credit cards. And then, I mean, if that's the case, then I think that more people should be allotted SNAP benefits so that they won't have to scam.
Right.
Because what can you get with the money is just food.
Everybody should get a little snap.
Yeah, everybody should get at least $100 a month.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Just for food.
Just for food. What
Yeah.
is wrong with that? I think that makes a lot of sense. The state got money.
Because they got mad money. Investigation underway after physical altercation involving staff member at a Mattapan school.
This story was crazy. It's not there.
Oh,
Tell us what happened.
I don't know.
There was apparently there was an issue with a Matta Hunt parent. Let me see.
Here we go. An investigation is currently underway after a physical altercation occurred between staff members and another individual at a school in Mattapan. According to school officials, the incident took place in the school cafeteria on Thursday afternoon and was witnessed by multiple students. In a letter sent to parents, Mattahunt Elementary School Principal Walter Henderson stated that the school staff contacted BPS Safety Services to provide assistance. He also assured parents that the school's leadership would investigate the incident and take appropriate matters. It's a developing story.
I have the story here.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Physical altercation with a Mattapan Elementary School staff member. There's the 19th Sabrina Silva
Who
live.
got
with
into
what
the
we know at
altercation?
this hour.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, Kim, this is still very new and it's all under investigation. But what we're learning from Boston Public Schools is that a staff member was involved in a physical and verbal altercation here at Manhunt Elementary School. It all happened inside the cafeteria. Now, there was a letter sent to parents about the incident, letting them know that a staff member had a verbal and physical altercation during lunchtime and that several students watched it all happen. We're still working to find out who else outside the school employee was involved in this altercation, but taking you back live here, we do know that the students were notified to speak out about any concerns that they do have here with the school. But as soon as we learn more information, we'll bring it to you right here on the news station. But for now, we're putting live in Mattapan.
It could have only been another staff member, right, at the school during lunchtime with the lunch lady. Y'all getting in beef with the lunch lady?
On one of the stories, I heard it was a parent that came in.
Oh,
I'm mad she called it the manhunt school.
Well, we've been hearing, we've been relaying a lot of stories about parents getting a little buck at the schoolhouse and setting poor examples.
Yep.
So we'll wait for the development of that story, but that's no good. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. You can't be. These children are already going through enough trauma in their lives and a little struggle and all kinds of stuff, and they don't need to be influenced by adults doing the things that we are trying to ask them to not do.
You know what bothers me is I'm tired of them. So you sent someone out to this school to do a report on it, and you really didn't tell us anything.
Yeah, like I don't understand. They make big concerns and big news stories off of like nothing.
Nothing.
He didn't tell us anything.
Right. And why? Don't do that. Wait until you have the information and then give us the story.
But see, that's how the news work. I want to be the first to break it. Even if I don't have any information, I just want to say that we reported it here first.
Yeah, that's silly.
We like to do that here. Hopefully we get some more of those. Many immigrants expected to come to Massachusetts when Title 42 expires today. Where we going to put them?
City Hospital.
Mass immigrants are expected to flood over the U.S. Mexican border as Title 42 ends on Thursday. Many of them expected to come here. There will be a surge of immigrants and other folks in Massachusetts, particularly coming into Boston area. He says they might help migrants get one of the CEOs of IINE. He says they help migrants get settled and apply for benefits once they arrive. And he says the real surge is coming. The data at the border tells us the number of people crossing will double. And so it'll go from 6,000 to 10,000 to 13,000 in a day.
Damn.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says the city is already seeing 40 to 60 migrants a day looking for food, shelter, and services. We are the city that will always step up when there is need, but this is significant. Just last week, Boston 25 showed you Haitian immigrants sheltering at Boston Medical Center with no place to go. We've enrolled in the last week at least 150 people from Haiti in services. With the number of immigrants arriving uncertain, Tillman says the state is providing some funding but needs to help more to coordinate services once they arrive. They have put money into the state budget to help migrants coming into the state. They are aware of the fact that the shelter system is overwhelmed right now, said Tillman. And he says the crisis, already overwhelming, is only expected to worsen. We are behind in enrolling people waiting for benefits. We have a waiting list of people who have signed up. Tillman was at Washington, D.C. today, meeting with Senator Markey, asking for help and better coordination with state and federal officials. We are having a housing crisis in Boston with the people that live in Boston. I'm really, really concerned about where we're going to house everybody.
Yeah.
I feel like we shouldn't turn them away, but there has to be a better plan of how to get them housing.
So what are they just being dropped off, basically?
I guess so. And how does it work? You put them on a bus and you just drop them. Where are you dropping them?
You want to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Like I'm confused about how we can what can we do?
They're getting hard to come by. So as Title 42 is set to expire,
What is Title
local
42?
immigration experts tell us that the safety nets in place could soon be overwhelmed. Migrants are expected to flood over the U.S.-Mexican border as Title 42 ends Thursday. Many expected to come here.
There will be a surge probably of immigrants and other folks coming into Massachusetts and particularly into the Boston area.
Jeff Tillman is the CEO of the Immigration Institute of New England. They help migrants get settled and apply for benefits once they arrive. But Tillman says the real surge is coming.
And the data at the border is telling us that the number of people crossing will double. And so it'll go from something like 6,000 to 10 to 13,000 a day.
Boston Mayor Michelle Wu says the city is seeing 40 to 60 migrants a day looking for food, shelter, and services.
We are a city that will always step up when there is need, but this is significant.
Just last week, Boston 25 showed you Haitian immigrants sheltering at Boston Medical Center with no place to go. Tillman says Haitians are in real need.
We've enrolled in the past week probably almost 150 people from Haiti and services.
With the numbers of migrants arriving uncertain, Tillman says the state is providing some funding, but needs to help coordinate services once they arrive.
They have put money in the state budget to
So
help.
Title 42 was created to address public health and social welfare and grants the government the ability to take emergency action in numerous ways, including to stop the introduction of communicable diseases. While the code has been in place for decades, it was used widely beginning in March 2020 by the administration of then President Donald Trump in order to regulate border crossing under the premise of increased COVID-19 precautions. The Trump administration used Title 42 to essentially override immigration law that allowed people to ask for asylum after entering illegally, and said he could send them back across the border, arguing that taking migrants into custody in federal facilities would create more of a public health risk. So that's basically summing up Title 42 that is expiring, and I'm wondering what's going to actually happen with them. Are they gonna automatically deport them back? Like, how does that work?
That.
Yeah, and then how do you flip it and send people back?
Yeah,
I don't know.
And what is it? It's not only happening in Massachusetts. It's happening across the
it's a
country.
complete expiration of it.
That's
interesting. In more interesting news, we just touched on COVID-19. Some propose lifting mask mandates in healthcare settings as mass public health. I got an email yesterday from Partners, I believe it was, that's saying that they are now lifting the mask mandate, and you will no longer be required to wear a mask in the hospital.
Yeah, it's so crazy. One of my friends works in a medical establishment, and so yesterday the mask man was the first day that they don't have to wear masks. She said that she didn't have on a mask, and patients were coming in without masks, asking her why she didn't have a mask on.
Interesting,
right? And she said, "You don't have a mask on."
So for me, I honestly feel like the hospitals are the place where masks should be mandated from entering all the way until you leave.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Hospitals are the place. Hospitals carry the most set of, everybody's in there for all the diseases.
Yep, everything is airborne.
So I'm not really sure why the hospital would move in this direction at this point.
Yeah.
COVID is not over.
No.
And I'm kind of just, I think that even if COVID never existed, the mask mandate in the hospital should have probably been a thing in general. It should. Because a lot of people say that when you go to the hospital, that's most likely where you're going to get sicker, or, you'll catch something.
No, seriously.
So if a lot of people are in there, all the sick people with cold, flu, pneumonia, COVID, all the things, airborne diseases, rare diseases and stuff like that, the only way that you can really kind of make sure that everything is legit or that you have the most way of protecting yourself would to be masked up. I don't have no problem wearing a mask in the hospital. I think you should. It's gross.
It is gross. I remember when I was having some medical issues and I wanted to like be in the hospital, and they were like, "Nope, this is not where you need to be because this is where you're gonna get sick."
Yeah, you might as well go home where it's a nice sterile, well, not sterile, but a better environment to get better instead of being here where all the disease is at.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm not for it. I don't like it. Boston public health advocacy groups are raising concern about lifting universal mask mandates in healthcare settings. Public health advocates are calling upon hospitals, doctors, and other health providers to adopt masking policies that will continue to provide access to safer environments for their patients and their staff who are immunocompromised or otherwise at high risk for the severe consequences of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
The end of universal masking policies in healthcare settings will put those seeking medical care who are already more vulnerable, people with respiratory diseases or cancer, people with disabilities, and older adults at risk of contracting COVID and other potential life-threatening illnesses. Yeah, I'm not for that at all. I'm for demasking in general because I have become an anti-masker. I'm not going to protest, but I do, for myself, I don't like masks. But in the hospital is the only place where I feel like, absolutely, give me the mask. Give me all the masks.
I agree with that. I think that we should
and maybe it shouldn't be a mandate, but maybe it should be highly encouraged with mask little drop downs everywhere you go. Like, it's not a mandate, but to protect yourself from airborne illnesses, we encourage you to continue to wear masks.
Yeah.
That's what the sign should say. And or if they want me to come and say that at every entrance of the hospitals, I can do that.
How much would you want to be paid?
$500,000 an hour.
Oh, well.
I don't know where I got that number from, but it seemed like a good number.
I mean,
okay, fine. Let's be realistic. I want at least $50 an hour to stand out there all day and encourage people to wear masks.
Janet said, all mask off, get your immunity up. We all going to get sick. Consider it a booster.
Herd immunity. Well, we know who Janet is. A very big anti-masker. She's probably out there protesting.
No, but Janet, I haven't seen Janet without a mask.
That is very true.
In how many times
Janet
that I've seen
has wore a mask every single time.
Every time. She always has a mask on.
Janet's a liar.
She's
Janet's
a
want
fraud.
everybody else to get sick except for her.
Janet's
terrible.
Janet. Her name, whenever I'm drinking, her name becomes Janice.
Because I feel like when you're drinking, your tongue gets mad heavy and full of liquid.
Oh, it's a sponge. Sponge tongue.
Yes, absolutely. And then last but not least, the Celtics. Hello. Hello.
Coming through.
Let me tell y'all something. All you sports fans, turn off the TV because y'all gonna give yourself heart attacks and other heart-related diseases. The amount of tweets and the amounts of statuses that went out yesterday before the fourth quarter made me feel like you guys were all going to jump off of a bridge.
Oh, God.
I don't know what was going on. Everybody was stressed out. They was turning on the Celtics. They was turning on each other. Everybody was crazy. And then in the fourth quarter, I guess Tatum came out and was a superhero and started dropping buckets like crazy. And then all kinds of things happened.
It would have been one of Tatum's worst games. Then he picked it up, man, towards the last quarter.
Oh, I'll tell you that.
Marcus Smart lived up to his word. Jason Tatum came alive at the right time, and the Boston Celtics defense locked in late Thursday night in Philadelphia, where they kept their postseason alive and forced a Game 7.
That beard looks like it stinks so bad. That? You know the beard one from the other team.
The C's and the Sixers fought back and forth throughout most of the second half inside Wells Fargo Center before the visiting team pulled away down the stretch for a 95-86 win Celtics. Oy. Smart had one of the most impressive all-around performance of his playoff career, finishing with team highs of 22 points and 7 assists, along with 7 rebounds and 2 steals. He also tied for the game's high in plus-minus at plus-minus 18 in just under 42 minutes of action. Don't know what that means. Heading into the potential elimination game, Smart declared, if you're not willing to get dirty, if you're not willing to bleed, if you're not willing to break something, willing to tear something, going hard, then you shouldn't be on the court. Hello. Say it one more time. Let me repeat it for y'all that didn't hear. And this applies to everything in y'all lives. If you're not willing to get dirty, if you're not willing to bleed, if you're not willing to break something, willing to tear something going hard, then you shouldn't be on any court, because that's what the playoffs are all about. And we in playoff seasons right here in our lives.
Take that.
Get big. Let's go, Tatum, with your big shoulders. He's got a wide back. Like him. Love him. He lived up to those words right out of the gate, knocking down the game opener 3-point on one end and then stripping Joel Embiid for a steal.
Joel Embiid.
Smart carried the team throughout the first 3 quarters with his full throttle approach. Then in the fourth, it was Tatum time. Get him. It's Tatum time. Tatum had one of the roughest starts to a game in his career, making just 1 of 13 from the field through the first 3 frames. However, that was all forgotten once he came alive in crunch time. The All-NBA's first teamer connected all 3 consecutive 3-pointers down the stretch to help the C's pull away. In the final quarter, he shot 4 of 5 from deep and perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. I should be a sports commentator.
You should.
Tatum credited his teammates for consistently encouraging him throughout the early struggles. You want to win bad. You want to play so well, he explained. And when shots aren't falling, things just aren't necessarily going your way. You want it so bad. Trying to stay present, trying to stay in the moment, trying to do other things. And every timeout, every huddle, my teammates are telling me the next one's going to go in. Keep rebounding. Keep getting assists. Keep getting blocks. Keep impacting the game. It's going to come. It's going to come. So that was helpful, and just believing that the next one was going in, and they succeeded with the victory, and we outside at game 7, and yeah. The crowd goes wild.
Won't he do it? Yes,
Won't
he
he
will.
do it? God did. God did. Let's go, Boston.
God did.
Yes.
Let's go, Boston. So we're going to end right there. And when we come back, we'll come back with some more Boston, because he was just honored at the Celtics game as small business of the game.
Okay,
so we'll be having Rob Eugene come in from Hugh Back Bay and Silk R&B Party, and just a nightlife curator for the gods. We'll be right back after a few moments. Keep it locked right here. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz. Turn it on. Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
JP Morgan Chase is making a global commitment to break down barriers to drive inclusive economic growth all over the world. We believe there is a pressing need to help more people move up the economic ladder. That is why we are investing in communities and people to create an economy that works for all, because no community should be left behind. Right here in Boston, we're focusing that work in Dorchester, Roxbury, and Mattapan, among other neighborhoods, on improving financial health. These efforts aim to address the key drivers of the racial wealth divide head on. We're here to empower individuals, families, and small businesses by connecting them to the tools that build generational wealth and a long-lasting legacy. Chase is investing in Boston. Chase is investing in you. Visit us at the Mattapan branch at 1617 Blue Hill Avenue, where the team is waiting to help.
Attention, gentlemen. Are you looking for a suit that will make you look sharp and feel confident? Look no further than Allen's Formal Wear, a Boston legacy business. Our expert staff will help you find the perfect suit for any occasion. With a wide selection of colors, styles, and sizes, we have something for everyone. And the best part, our affordable prices won't break the bank. So why settle for a mediocre suit when you can stand out in Allen's Formal Wear? Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or allensformalwear.com to book an appointment. Visit us today at 594 Blue Hill Ave, Dorchester, or Allens, ALLANS, formalwear.com to book an appointment. Allen's Formal Wear. We are dressing you for success.
Saturday, June 24th, It's Casino Production presents the 3rd annual We Outside Underwater, the Luau edition. Music is going to be provided by Clarity House Crew, DJ Matic, Ghetto Hype, Song International. We're going to be traveling on the MV Freedom, 60 Rose Wharf, Boston. Boarding time for that night is going to be 4 p.m. Departure time, 4:30. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you now that is a 21 plus event. For ticket, check out Flames Restaurant and eventbrite.com. That is Saturday, June 24th. We outside underwater, the Luau edition. Brought to you by Sino Productions.
Hey y'all, it's Miss Tony from Saucy and Friends on Spark FM. We want to remind you that Mother's Day, May 14th, is just around the corner, and that means so is the annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace right here in Boston. The route this year is just over 4 miles long, starting and ending right in Townfield in Dorchester. This is the 27th year that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute has put on the walk fundraiser, and the theme this year is Cultivating Cycles of Peace, where the goal continues to be to promote peace and support survivors of homicide victims. But we need your support too to keep it going. For information and registration, please log on to mothersdaywalkforpeace.org. That's Mother's Day Walk, the number 4, peace.org.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM.
Come on.
Spark FM.
Chick a man be ballin', deep chick pigeon toe, some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean music. Radio. Spark FM.
Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. We are back. And as this whole week have been going, we have been talking to some amazing people in Boston who are just doing really great things. We often hear that Boston is marketed very poorly, and that things are just, what is there to do in Boston? Where are we supposed to go? How are we supposed to do things? There's nothing going on. Everything sucks. But if you want to do something, there's many things for you to do. So we're going to introduce to you, and most of you guys already, probably all of you guys already know him, Rob Eugene. Hi. You can bring that mic straight to you. It follows you where you go. Good morning.
I know one of my friends was like, oh my gosh, I know your guest on the show. I was like, everybody know Rob. He's Mr. Boston. What are you talking about?
Literally. It's been a long time coming, so thank you for coming.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I'm a celebrity. We've had a great week of really great guests, and I was excited because you were here, Mr. Nightlife, Mr. Restaurateur, Mr. Business. So welcome. Hi, Rob. How you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Tell us, for the people that don't know, tell us who you are. How would you describe who you are? Introduce yourself.
My name is Rob Eugene. I am from Boston, Dorchester specifically. I've been here all my life. I went to...
Bring the mic a little closer to you.
Oh, sorry. Better? All right. Went to Boston Latin for high school, BU for undergrad.
We beat them in the step squad, but go ahead. Whatever. Just wanted to put that out there.
Hold on to that.
You got that. Yeah, I started throwing parties in college, and I found an affinity to bringing people together, and so I made passion become a career, and I've been doing it ever since.
Oh yeah.
So you like you said, you started in college.
Yeah.
But then you've been a pioneer when it comes to Black nightlife here. Starting all the way, I don't even know how far back. 'Cause I remember just seeing, I remember before I was even on the scene, they were like, "Oh no, that's Rob." And I was like, "Who's Rob?" They were like, "That's Rob." And I was like, "Okay, he's the Rob."
I mean, I'm pretty sure that a lot of the clubs and venues that Rob was using when he first started out aren't even around anymore.
No.
Yeah.
My claim to fame, so to say, was that Blue Wave back in the day.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. Blue Wave used to have lines around the corner.
When Blue Wave opened, it was like, what? And Saturday nights was like, we going to Blue Wave. Mm-hmm. Remember, whose birthday did we have at Blue Wave?
Sonny's birthday.
Sonny's birthday at Blue Wave.
Yes, that was a good... I don't remember that night. But it was a good night.
There you go.
So how'd you get your start in the Boston nightlife scene? I was reading things about you, and obviously... for people that are from Boston and grew up in Boston, we've always felt like there was not enough here for black people, especially when it came to nightlife, especially when it came to downtown.
Correct.
And now we're fighting back now, heavy, but before it was bigger than this. You were
Absolutely.
out
There was literally nothing for us to do. I mean, they wanted our music, but they didn't want us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Blue Wave, that opportunity came through Herbie Furman. I'm not sure if you guys know Herbie, but Herbie is Eddie Furman's cousin, the owner of Savor.
Yep.
So Eddie was involved with Blue Wave early on, had started doing some things here and there. And then Herbie was like, hey, there's an opportunity. They're looking for someone to do a Saturday night. He's like, would you be interested? And I was like, sure, why not? You know, I had just come out of college maybe a year prior. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And ended up being an 8-year run.
Yeah. Wow. So and I was reading an article about you and Kenny.
Yeah.
When you guys first started to like really kind of approach the nightlife and how a little reminiscent how we used to pretty much have to get dressed up to go to church to go to the clubs.
It was terrible.
What was it like back in those days as a curator of events to kind of break some of those barriers?
I mean, that was the only way to make the owners and managers comfortable, unfortunately. It was like by imposing dress codes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because that's when it used to be like, what's the dress code?
All the time.
Right. You had to wear like hard bottom shoes and a collared shirt. Yeah.
It was crazy.
No athletic wear.
Yeah, right.
That has literally come. I want to say almost 360 because now as adults you're like, yo, where the big people parties at? I want to put on my hard shoe and my stilettos and I want to go get dressed up.
Right.
But back in the day when you're fighting against oppression and racism and all kinds of stuff, it probably, I mean, we used to get dressed up in our suit jackets and in our business suits and mini skirts and go outside. But you know, like what was
used
that?
To look crazy, but we used to do it.
We was cute.
But we used to do it.
Hats.
No, you talking about back in the day?
Some of it was a little crazy looking.
Yeah, I mean, because some people didn't know how to really dress up, so they just won like their dad's pins, and a jacket.
But there was that weird era that like button up. But you got a jacket, vest, with a
I mean,
hat
there was
on.
definitely a time when Porta Classica was in business, okay? Porta Classica had us on lock for a while.
So, after Blue Wave, what did you get into after that?
So, from Blue Wave, the opportunity for Hennessy ended up coming about shortly after that. Well, actually, let me step back a little bit.
Because we're trying to get into your life.
Yeah. So, Kenny and I ended up coming together late on the later years of Blue Wave. I think like the final 2 years before they ended up selling. And then Kenny and I went on to do some other parties in different spaces.
Pre-event things.
Yeah.
Well, that came a little bit later.
That came later. So we so from Blue Wave we ended up doing Felt together. Pandora Thursdays was
I remember that too.
Yeah.
I feel young again.
Reminiscent.
And that was such a dope club.
It was.
Yeah.
You know, it's still vacant right now.
Is it?
That's
it's still
crazy.
sitting empty.
But why?
I don't know.
I feel like
That's crazy.
got it here first. Let me just avert my eyes. Let's do another one. But let's move up a little bit because you guys did the pre parties and that was for mostly like privé. Yeah. So mostly like networking.
Yeah,
you know,
networking, fashion, art.
A lot of fashion. Yeah, you guys did a couple of carnival like themes, and this was over at the W.
Yep.
Yeah, at the W. And so you've had just a long trajectory of just being in the scene, pioneering, talking to people, and trying to get Black people into these spaces.
Right. Spaces that we typically wouldn't have been in or allowed to be in.
Right. So you're almost like a advocate, not an advocate. What do they call them?
He the Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
You know what I also have to say too though is that your events are always like on an upscale level. You know what I mean? And it's always been something that people kind of look forward to, and it's like well curated events that people are like, oh, this is something that I definitely have to like look good for, feel good about, and go out there and really have a good time. At the same time, because you had the hottest DJs in the parties, you had great entertainment. It was just like always a vibe. I remember like, oh yeah, I'm going to that back then. So
yeah, I feel like if you're gonna charge people a premium, you gotta give them.
Yeah, you gotta give them premium quality.
Yeah.
And that leads us, I mean, there's many things in between, but that leads us to one of the most historical things that are happening right now is Hugh Back Bay.
Yeah.
Tell us about Hugh Back Bay, because we talk about it all the time here. We visited, we've gone, people have just gone there, and they talk about, they call in and oh, I went to Hugh, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
What is Hugh? And tell us how you got there.
So Hugh, the name double entendre. So Hugh was actually on the corner of Huntington and Exeter. So H-U-N-E.
Yes.
And also Hugh as in color. I wanted Hugh to look like Boston as a whole.
Yes.
You know, the entire community, not just one part of Boston. So that's what the name stemmed from.
It's very creative.
Thank you.
Hugh know the vibe.
So it's like a multifaceted space. It's 2 floors, 3 rooms. We have the Rose Bar upstairs, which is street level. We're located in the Copley Square Hotel.
Yep.
And then downstairs, I like to call the Hidden Gem. We have our supper club and speakeasy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what is the food like?
It's American food, Asian flair. That might be changing pretty soon.
Okay.
We have a new chef, so he kind of inherited the last menu, and now he's making some tweaks, so there might be changes.
I like that. I like that. How has it been so far since opening?
It's been amazing. The support has been overwhelming. You know, I knew that people would support, but not like this. Like, it's been.
I think that it was a long time coming that people were almost begging for something like this. We didn't really have. I mean, we have our Black-owned businesses. We have our restaurants. We've been doing a Black restaurant and bar tour, and we've gone to, at this point, 6, 7, 10 of them.
Amazing.
10 of them. And I think Hugh was a little new when we had decided to whatever, but we'll be there soon.
No problem.
But like we have some spots of hue, some parts of color that are starting to be erected in the more common Boston, in the Boston, in the Boston that we're not used to being in. So Hugh was a big deal for a lot of people. What was it like getting into to kind of curate what Hugh was going to be, and what was the process to even get this?
So a few, like, during the pandemic is when it was like really intentional about opening a space.
Yeah.
So 2 of my partners currently, it was the 3 of us who aggressively were looking, checked out a few spaces. The Poorhouse was one that didn't work out.
Is that still there?
It's still sitting empty, I think.
Oh, empty.
It's so many empty spaces that people
And that's the one on Boylston Street you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Boston. There was another place, I can't remember it. It was also on Huntington Ave. And then
Is that a Caesar salad? Sorry. That looks great.
We're looking at it.
Oh, God, that looks great.
While you're telling your story, can I just ask, because Hugh used to be Saint?
It was Saint originally, then Storyville.
Yeah.
And then upstairs was Minibar.
That's where Storyville was?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even know.
Really? I didn't know that. Back in the day, I know a lot of people that used to go to Storyville all the time, and I was like, what the hell is Storyville? Okay, that makes sense.
I went to Saint a few times.
Yeah, that was the original space.
So why did you land on that place?
Yeah.
Honestly, the deal kind of fell in my lap. I was approached because the initial, I guess you could say, founders of the space were like, hey, we're looking for some investors. They've seen who I was hanging out with, and I was like, all right, we could set a meeting.
Yeah.
Set the meeting, and then my partners were like, hey, we're only going to do this if we can all be partners and not just investors.
Yeah.
And it started that way.
Oh.
And then the 2 original partners ended up falling off, and then we
It'd
brought
be like
in,
that. It'd be like that.
and then we brought in 2 other people, and so now there's 5 of us.
And
so
sometimes that's what you need.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's not no beef, nothing. It just wasn't. It wasn't the right situation.
Yeah, the direction was different from what we saw, from what they saw. And
how do you feel like this combats the issues that we still do have in this city when it comes to Black and brown ownership, Black and brown, curation of events, spaces, and things like that? We're still fighting for, you know,
Absolutely.
access, but a lot of us are now getting into little pockets where we can open the door.
Right.
What has that been like for you?
No, honestly, like I've been very intentional about opening doors and keeping them open once I'm
Mhm.
through. You know, for example, Silk, we haven't talked about that yet,
Yeah.
but Silk being at Big Night Live was a huge deal.
Big deal.
You know, prior to us being there, they hadn't had any local curators for
Mhm.
events in the space.
Still, maybe the only one.
No, actually.
Yeah,
But since
they're
then, you
getting
know,
up
their
there, yeah.
Big Night Entertainment Group has used, like, Roy is at Guy Fieri. Tribe has
Mhm.
been at Scorpion Bar
Mhm.
and Red Lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
B-Sides been in there. Side
Mhm.
Presents. A lot of different groups are now, you know, using the different spaces that prior they weren't, you know, welcome to or hadn't had access to.
And I think that's a good segue to kind of just get into it, because when I posted today, it's your entrepreneurship, your nightlife, your food, your fun. And when we get into those other areas, food, fun and nightlife, we get right into Silk. And Silk has done things that I haven't seen before.
Yeah.
Silk has brought out everybody
Yeah.
on a monthly basis. And Silk's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
How long has Silk been around?
I think Silk started, so I came on during the pandemic.
Mhm.
But Silk had started, I want to say Silk is maybe
years old?
5 or 6 years,
Yeah,
years
I
old
think
now.
maybe 6, yeah.
So that was started by DJ Real P.
Mhm.
He started that at the W.
Big shout out to DJ Real P in the build. Well, he's not in the building, but big shout outs to DJ Real P, because I wanted to have both of you guys here for Silk, but we'll get into him
Yeah,
later.
yeah.
We'll bring you
I
back.
mean,
Yeah,
that's his own. You need him for his own interview.
Absolutely,
He's doing
yeah.
a million things.
Absolutely, he's doing a lot of things right now. So
Absolutely.
again, big shout outs to Real P.
Yeah.
But Silk, yeah.
So during the pandemic, I reached out. I was like, hey, you know, I'm a big fan of Silk. I've been to numerous parties, and it's just such a vibe. I was like, I think we can grow this into something bigger. I was
Mhm.
like, would you be open to working with me when we get out of this? I'll find a space to, you know, once this is over and everyone's back outside. And he said, let's do it.
Yeah.
And then we ended up going to La Fabrica in Cambridge.
And that was good. Yep.
Yeah, so we did, I think maybe 3-4 months, sold out every time.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I said early on, I was like, I want to get us into Big Night Live.
Yeah.
And he's like, make it happen.
Let's do it. Yeah.
And so I had established a relationship with the Big Night people from working with Hennessy.
Mhm.
I had all of their accounts as my accounts for Hennessy, from
Mhm.
hosting dinners,
Yeah.
grabbing tables at parties, etc. So, you know, they trusted
Relationship
me.
building.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we talk about it all the time, people. Relationship
Absolutely.
building is key.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Build a relationship, the money will come.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So with Silk, what do you think it is about R&B that gets people going?
It just feels good.
Just want to sing.
It does.
It
and then
feels good.
and then I think that's so interesting too, because going back to Hugh feels like Silk and supper. You know what I mean? It's like, this is so nice because we were sitting in there eating and drinking. The food is delicious. And to follow up with that, like Supper Club, I know that's kind of like a new concept that's come back from old. What is the Supper Club? What is that about?
I mean, the idea is like, what I'd like to coin it at is like high energy dining. So
Yeah, okay.
You're eating, you're in hip hop, you're R&B, Afro beats. So it's not like most restaurants where it's like elevator music
Right.
or whatever playing in
Right.
the background. Like you're literally singing
Upbeat.
along. It's
Feeling
upbeat.
good.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
a good energy while you're enjoying a meal and cocktail.
And I feel like that's what you've done with Hugh, because you have live DJs in there. Spark FM soon. You have large DJs in there. You have places for people to dance. They can do electric slide. They can hang out.
Yeah.
They can eat a sit down dinner. They can eat small plates in their hand and walk around. They can get great drinks. How
the drinks?
Yeah.
Whoa.
How you know that's what we wanted?
I mean, that's what I wanted.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean,
Give the people what they.
It was a void. I mean, every other city's doing it.
Mhm.
Boston's always a little behind for whatever reason, but you know, you go to Atlanta, DC.
Politics, that's why, brother. You know why, brother? Say it.
At Hugh, the food is beautiful. The presentation, and it's delicious, of course. The drinks, though, are definitely a highlight for me.
Yeah.
I had quite a few different drinks when I was there. My favorite, of course, being this resting spritz face.
Yeah. That's a hit.
Because why wouldn't it be for me? And it's beautiful. I don't know, Triz, if you could pull up the picture.
I did.
The picture of that. And it's just like the drinks are like a work of art. Like you don't want to drink them. There's smoke. There's flowers. There's diamonds and glitter.
Razzle and dazzle.
Yeah. It was just like, oh my gosh. But then like and the food. I'm a foodie, and so the food was delicious. We had the bao buns. We had the shrimp. We had
salmon,
chicken wings, the cauliflower. Because we were like, you're gonna order cauliflower. No, the cauliflower was lit.
Thank you.
So it's, like, get out there. And then all of that in a place where you're dressed up, you're listening to the music that you want to listen to.
And the people that you want to be around.
The people that you want to be around. It's a vibe. Like, there were super chill people. Remember the guy and the girl that was getting it in at the bar, dancing. And then, like, also, like, you're there. You know what I mean? It's not like it's just like, oh, that's my business and whatever. But you were there, like, walking around, making sure that people were having a good time.
I try to be very accessible.
Did you send us drinks? I think you sent us drinks when we were there. Yeah, we did. So big shout outs to that. Really, really dope vibes because, again, it's a relationship building. And I think that it's important to see ownership around.
Oh, yeah.
See them interacting with people because people like to feel like, like, especially in Boston, I feel like we like to feel important wherever we go.
Yep.
And when we don't feel important, that's when we start talking a bunch of trash.
Spoiled.
Yeah, we do. We are spoiled. We're a very spoiled city. But I think it's good that we see leadership around.
Yeah.
We don't only just see you at Hugh, we see you at events, you're talking on panels, you're doing a lot of different things. So you really are like and we think about leadership when we think about politics and the city councilors, but we don't think about the unsung heroes that often just been around for a long time.
Right.
Pioneering, making way for people to be able to do things. And we see that you are reaching back. You are reaching back to other DJs. You are not only working with your close friends, but you're working with everybody who has a buzz in the city. What was it like kind of curating the entire experience for people? Because I know you have these ideas and you're creative and you think about them, but putting it together, what was that like?
Honestly, like you said, I just try to work with anybody who's willing to work with me, to be honest. Everybody has different ideas, different vibes, and I don't want it to be the same thing every time you walk into whatever event it is. From doing fashion and art events with Kenny to Silk with Real P,
all the way to your wife's business too, with the little babies,
right,
which is dope. And can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I don't want you to leave here without letting us know about all the great things that you are a part of. And that, explain to us what it is, because I think it's so cute.
Yeah, so we have a small business called the Adorn Boutique Studio, which is located in Walpole. Basically, it's a kid spa. Yeah, kids come in.
They do birthday parties. They paint their nails and they hang out. It's so cute.
Yeah, do facials, get their nails done.
What's it called?
It's Adorn Boutique Studio.
Okay.
Again, everybody go on these places: Hugh Back Bay, Silk R&B Party, Adorn. Follow them because it's a. Do you see it?
One of your first ventures were Hennessy, right?
Yeah. So that was I'm still with Hennessy.
And how did you? I want to know how you got involved with that and how's that going?
Yeah. So I'm in my 8th year now with Hennessy. So Team Hennessy is a national program of influencers, which I now manage. So I started off as Team Hennessy Boston when I was first hired. And basically the role is to be the culture in the city, keep your eyes and ears to the ground, try to associate yourself with Ty for like sponsorship opportunities, collaborations, be wherever it's hot in the nightlife. Most of it at the time it started off with just nightlife was the focus. So grabbing tables, hosting DJs, celebrities when they're in town. There was some travel involved as well, like all the national events, NBA All-Star.
You guys are everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. It's lit to watch. I feel like, look at these guys go. Shout out to Ridley.
Ridley
look
Johnson
at you guys go.
Boston.
Yeah.
But I got started, while I was a promoter. I was approached about the program coming to Boston. I went through the interview process. I think maybe 10 people from Boston applied for the job. Funny story. So the phone interview went terribly. I tanked it.
Damn it, I didn't get it.
Exactly. So the first round, I got passed on. I knew at least 3-4 people that were asked to come to New York to interview in person. Didn't work out. So they come back to the distributor because that's who they were asking for help. They're like, we still haven't found the right person yet. They're like, all right, we're telling you Rob's the guy. So I get the
But
call.
he sucked at the interview. I don't know.
It was two things. It was one was that, and then two because I was like I just had a newborn at the time.
Oh,
they
yeah.
were worried about me being a family guy and not being able to sustain like a nightlife. And
You have 2 girls?
I have 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I get they tell me they fly me out to New York. I miss my flight.
Wow, Rob, you're on a roll.
Yeah, so I
a
missed my
sucky
flight.
interview.
Wow.
You missed your flight.
So-
he ain't serious.
So, exactly. So I was like, man, I'm panicking. So I knew I was gonna miss it, so I ended up booking my own flight on another airline. Run over there, catch one. I ended up being like 15 minutes late, but then one of the interviewers was actually later than me.
Oh,
so
good.
I ended up
There
being
you
all
go.
right.
Look at God.
Yeah, exactly. And the interviewing person went amazing. So
I mean, if it's for you, it's gonna be for you no matter
Yeah.
what, right? So
Absolutely.
that's awesome. And we've attended a Hennessy event that you curated.
Shout outs to you.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
say shout out to me.
And that was,
Shout out to you.
you know, again, I
Yeah.
don't think that I've ever been to anything that you've
Nah.
been involved with that was not a
honestly, that
Top notch.
that was
Yeah.
probably my favorite part of the job was the Privileged Toast program. and
Yeah.
honoring like what you talked about, unsung heroes in Boston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people doing great things that go unrecognized or
Yeah.
unnoticed.
They
and
do.
so-
Yeah.
You need one for yourself.
This is true. This
Go
is true.
curate a Hennessy party for you. Can you sponsor it?
You sponsor your own
Can
party.
you sponsor your own party? No, but I think that what you're doing is a celebration of you anyways. And we see you around more. You've always, it's so funny because you always seem very quiet to me in general. You're like very like, I'm here. Hello, keep it moving. So you don't even seem like the type of person that's involved in nightlife and all of these different things, but you literally are Boston.
Honestly, like I prefer to be behind behind the curtains and just kind of make things happen.
Yeah.
I've never been like this is all new for me now.
Yeah.
Like being
in the news,
I know.
Yeah.
being honored at the Celtics. Oh, let's start. We're in the playoff season, and you
Yeah.
were honored at one of the games. Hugh was presented as the game's small business.
Yeah.
I mean, I was on your story, and I was like everybody was just so excited to
Yeah.
see you there. You have a really great support team because I think that you've done so much for the city of Boston that we don't have any other. We can't really do anything but to really support you.
I appreciate that.
What was that like, just being...
I mean, I would have preferred to get the W,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess that was a win in itself.
Yeah.
No, but it was amazing.
Yeah.
Like you said, it was a lot of people like reposting and shouting me out and congratulating me. So, and obviously getting more attention for the business is ideal. So.
And that's good because you have so much going on. So all of these things help to increase the bottom line at the end of the day. Because this thing can't be cheap.
No.
It can't be. It's got to be expensive, time consuming. You're pulling yourself away from your family that you literally love because we see such beautiful examples of family. And you have 2 beautiful girls, a beautiful wife, and you guys are just kind of moving along in life, being advocates and helping the Boston scene. How do you feel?
I feel good.
Feel good?
I feel tired, but I feel good.
Of course. But
Heavy
it's a good time.
Heavy is the crown.
Hey,
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. But I think that it's important that we see you still intermingling, still doing interviews, still or starting to do more interviews and things now to really just put yourself out there and to explain to the city of Boston that what we're so used to not having, we are building, and these things take time.
Yeah.
You've been in the business for how long?
20 plus years.
20 plus years.
Yeah.
And we're at a point now where you now have a place, you have great events, you got music, food, friends, support. It's been a journey.
It has. And I love to see that more of it is still happening.
That's what I was going to ask you.
Grace just opened up.
What are your thoughts on current Black Boston on current Black Boston period?
I think it's improving every day. I feel like it's changed a lot. Even if you look at the city officials now, it's a lot of young people
we
of
are
color.
colorful.
Yeah, absolutely.
We are colorful in the city right now.
Yeah, and when has it ever looked like that before?
Right.
And so
You just brought up Grace by Nia. She opened yesterday, officially opened yesterday. So big shout outs to her. Drop a bomb for her. Big shout outs to her. We'll have her in here soon too to talk about her journey.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing these kind of, when you're seeing the landscape get better from when you started, what is that? Does it speak to you? Do you feel like you've been a part of that?
I think it's inspirational. I feel like what we're doing is inspiring, the next generation of people.
Absolutely.
My daughters are seeing that owning and operating a business is feasible.
How old are they?
Important.
My daughters are 17 and 11.
Oh wow! Oh, they're right
They're
there.
the prime age.
Yeah, they're the prime age to be
know.
watching and
Yeah.
observing. And I've been watching a lot of articles and news things about kids who have parents in entertainment or business and things. I was reading one about Ice Spice today, and she was like, she remembers when her dad used to, as a toddler, like little bits and pieces of her dad bringing her into the studio, which now is where she's keeping her family private. But like little things like that. As your girls see you grow up, they have a little you guys have your family business. You have Silk, you have Hugh, you have Hennessy, and all kinds of things. You are really doing a great thing for them.
Absolutely.
And I hope that you realize what kind of examples you're setting, not only to little black boys,
it's about legacy.
but to girls, too.
Yeah.
We are seeing that we can literally do a lot of things. Like black people in general can do so many things.
Absolutely.
It might not be easy, it might not be fast, but it is attainable. If you had damn sound effect. If you were, I hate this question, but I'm going to ask it. If you were to talk to your younger self right now, what would you say?
Be patient. There were a lot of times I would like beat myself about not being where I thought I should be at certain points in my life.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I think that's really important. I'm struggling with that really now. Like, I'm like, let's go fast. We got to do more. And I'm like, I don't got no money. Can't do it. But that's I think that's very simple and very impactful. Be patient. This journey is long. It's hard. It is lonely at sometimes, even probably with a family and a wife.
And you got to run your own race. Don't worry about what other people are doing.
You got to keep your eyes on the prize.
I would also add focus. Stay focused on that. Definitely.
Yeah. What do you have next? What do you have planned next? Give us an exclusive.
Tell
us something new.
So one of my favorite events that I love to host is a brunch, and so we're starting a brunch at Hugh.
I had that in my notes.
Yes.
Brunches start at Hugh. When do they start? I'm so excited.
The 21st.
The 21st brunches start.
But they have a Mother's Day celebration this weekend.
We do have a Mother's Day celebration this weekend.
And I can't make no reservations for. No. You can still go online and make reservations. You can still go online and make reservations. HughBoston.com.
Yeah, shout out to Joanne Bentley from the Pats. He's doing something to make that special.
Oh,
very nice.
Yeah.
And then we have Afrobeats party starting at Big Night Live, World Africa.
Ooh, yes, I saw that. I'm there because I love Africans.
That's a collaborative effort. That's going to be Memorial Day Sunday.
Oh, nice. And is that going to be a consistent thing, or is for right now?
Depending on how that first one goes.
Okay. I hear that. Hit us up if you need some help.
Afrobeats.
Afrobeats.
Also,
Afrobeats sell-off.
The Hugh patio is now open.
Wait, y'all got a patio too?
Listen.
Where the patio at? Let me look around the building.
I love a patio.
Where the patio at?
It's on the front side. It's on the Huntington side by the hotel entrance. So the windows open up on the first floor to the
That's beautiful. Oh, you guys got a good spot.
It's
you guys got a good
really,
spot.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Menu is gonna be slightly changing soon. You guys got a new chef. We're starting. You guys have a special Friday night.
Well, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we do, live music and/or DJ, and we're open from 5 p.m. to 2 a.m.
So what is from in general? What
Thursday,
are the hours
Friday,
of
and
operation?
Saturday, 5 to. Oh.
But that's not the only time are you open all throughout the week?
Downstairs is the time for the supper club and the speakeasy. So upstairs we're open Tuesday through Sunday.
Tuesday through Sunday.
Yeah, Monday's the only day we're closed.
Okay. And then what times do you open and what times do you close?
So we're doing lunch Thursday through Saturday upstairs from 11 to 3, and then 5 to 12 upstairs.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of different hours.
It's a lot going on.
Yeah.
How do you keep up? How do you keep going?
Just keep going.
Just keep
it's
swimming.
just discipline.
Like when you have those times where you're feeling like this is a lot, this is just a lot.
I mean,
what do you use for inspiration?
I mean, it's just discipline at this point.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of just like right now I'm on maybe 3-4 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And
I heard you saying the same.
And I see my brother got allergies too.
Exactly.
Allergies is attacking everybody.
Allergies is beating everybody down, man.
So there's many things that you have going on. People go follow, what is it? I Am Boston. I Am Boston on Instagram. Follow him on LinkedIn. Follow him wherever you see him. One of the things that we do here for our audience is to make sure that we encourage them to support. Like even if you've never been, even if you don't go out, just go out once. Go visit you. There's many different things. He's got nightlife parties. He's got restaurants. He's got speakeasies. He's got day spas for the babies. He's got so many things. There's no possible way that people can say there's nothing going on in Boston because there's so much happening and so much turning around, so much getting better. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really excited for you, and I'm just really amped about where you have come, where I have seen, where I first noticed you all the way till now. It's a big deal, Rob.
Thank you.
You're a big deal.
Right? Congratulations on the
Yes.
longevity, because so
Yes.
many people that we know who started out are no longer, and you just keep on getting more and more innovative.
Staying
and
in
keep
the
on
background,
elevating.
but still pushing. You know,
But
like, it's
elevating,
crazy.
and
Yeah.
that's amazing. I think that says so much for who you are.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure to just know you and to see you, and we're hoping that we are going to continue our relationship and just kind of move forward. Spark FM is here to support what you need, so please rely on us. If you have anything going, anything popping, you need just some visibility on, hit us up.
Thank you.
We are here for you. This is why we were built, and just to elevate your voices, to empower you guys, and to just let you guys know that we got your back 100%. Thank you so much. Any last, where we can find you? Tell us where we can find you.
On Instagram, as you
Everywhere.
mentioned, I Am Boston is my social handle.
How much you want for that? How much? Have you gotten some offers yet?
Oh, so many.
Oh, man.
Let me get that name.
That's lit.
I Am Boston.
Yep.
Yeah.
On Facebook, it's just Rob.
Yeah. Rob. And then that usually on LinkedIn, that's when you get the professional Rob. He's a restaurateur. I love restaurateur. It's my favorite.
It is nice.
Rob, thank you so much for giving us your time, and thank you for coming here. Oh, absolutely. We'll have you back as you continue to grow and elevate. Every time you hit a new milestone, we'll be like, Rob, come through.
All right.
Let's talk about it.
Sounds good.
With that said, people, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back after a few moments. We got to go get our fangirl and fanboy on with Rob and take some pictures. And we'll be right back after a few moments. Spark FM Online, #1 for urban and Caribbean music. Saucy and Friends.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Turn it on.
Turn it up.
This is SparkFMOnline.com.
Hey y'all, it's Miss Tony from Saucy and Friends on Spark FM. We want to remind you that Mother's Day, May 14th, is just around the corner, and that means so is the annual Mother's Day Walk for Peace right here in Boston. The route this year is just over 4 miles long, starting and ending right in Townfield in Dorchester. This is the 27th year that the Louis D. Brown Peace Institute has put on the walk fundraiser, and the theme this year is Cultivating Cycles of Peace, where the goal continues to be to promote peace and support survivors of homicide victims. But we need your support too to keep it going. For information and registration, please log on to mothersdaywalkforpeace.org. That's Mother's Day Walk, the number 4, peace.org.
Advertise your business, brand, or music on Spark FM. Contact us at sparkfmonline.com for more information.
Massive, it's the Sunday Food with Father John and Trini Tech. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Playing you vintage classics, calypso, ska beats, reggae, roots, R&B, souls, dub, and more. It's the Sunday Food. Every Sunday, 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Spark FM Online.
Saturday, June 24th, It's Casino Production presents the 3rd annual We Outside Underwater, the Luau edition. Music is going to be provided by Clarity House Crew, DJ Matic, Ghetto Hype, Song International. We're going to be traveling on the MV Freedom, 60 Rose Wharf, Boston. Boarding time for that night is going to be 4 p.m. Departure time, 4:30. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you now that it's a 21 plus event. For ticket, check out Flames Restaurant and eventbrite.com. That is Saturday, June 24th. We Outside Underwater, the Luau edition. Brought to you by Sino Productions.
Finally Home is a must-read, step-by-step guide that will equip any first-time homebuyer with the knowledge they need to confidently make informed decisions. This book provides answers in simple and clear terms to most, if not all, of the questions you may have about credit, home ownership, and generational wealth. Finally Home equips the reader with the confidence to be engaged with the home buying process without feeling vulnerable or exploited. Tailor-Made Real Estate Easy is not just a catchy hashtag. It is real estate agent and radio personality Taylor Andre's goal. A goal to simplify one of the most challenging processes you will go through as an adult. A goal to educate you properly on credit and teach you the strategies to finding the home of your dream. It is not just a good book or an easy read. It is the secret to a seamless home buying experience.
How healthy is your heart? Believe it or not, half of the country has at least one risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Hi, I'm Senator Liz Miranda from Massachusetts. February is American Heart Month, a perfect time to focus on our overall health and well-being. It is important to know that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and smoking increase the risk of heart disease. But did you know women, rural Americans, and racial and ethnic groups are also disproportionately impacted? While not all of these factors are controllable, we can take preventable steps to stay healthy. Regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, and not smoking are a good place to start. Make an appointment with your healthcare provider today to assess your risk. If you have heart disease, monitor your blood pressure and keep up with your healthcare visits. For more, visit womeningovernment.org.
The all-new Spark FM. Spark FM. Come on. Spark FM.
Young chick a man be ballin'. Deep chick pigeon toed. Some of them be crawling.
Spark FM.
Oh gosh, it's me again.
New England's #1 urban Caribbean radio. Spark FM.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
Suck it now.
Get up, get up, get up, get up. Let's make love tonight. Go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. I hope you're feeling right.
No.
Ooh, girls, men, me. You know what's crazy? It's not anything to do with this music. My mom's new tenants are super Honduran. And yesterday they was outside playing some crazy old school, you know, like Otis Redding and things like that. I had the best evening yesterday doing work.
They love some Otis Redding.
Man, some country music.
Play that Otis.
Start to beat
Otis.
Otis Redding. Man, you can't go wrong with some Otis, boy. That take you back.
I keep loving you.
All of them good wedding songs you be listening to while you eating your hors d'oeuvres. I love them songs. At one point, he was singing. I was like, yes, boy, sing.
That's how I feel. Sometimes you get in the mood, you get a good song on.
Yeah.
You just be like, you transcend to a place.
And I feel like that's what Silk is about, right? Like
Yes.
people go there and you hear your good song. Can we talk?
I mean, I had a concert. I was singing from a diaphragm. Okay, I was.
Yes, get it. Oh, that song right there. That song right there.
You gotta put your arms wrapped so the song.
That's the song.
So it can come out of you.
And Deborah Cox, "We Can't Be Friends."
Oh, listen, "We Can't Be Friends" for a long time was gonna be my wedding song, and it still might be because obviously I can't. Obviously, can't.
I thought that's a good question. I thought about that today for a question of the day. Is it better to become lovers and then friends, or friends and then lovers?
I don't know, because when you become friends and then lovers, there's a lot of lines that get crossed.
Yes.
That you can't say that to me.
Yes.
So I think that it's probably better. I don't know. You gotta have. I don't.
Think about it.
Don't ask me what I know.
Everybody think about it. This is the question of the day. Is it better to become friends and then lovers, or lovers and then friends?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. You can jot it down in the comment section, and if we have enough time at the end of the day, we'll just kind of go through them a little bit.
Be lovers then friends?
Lovers then friends, or friends then lovers?
Friends then lovers.
Which one? Think about it. Let's get into the national and world news, Miss Tony.
I'm just gonna sing. I'm just gonna sing. I'm just gonna do the ones that are, that we really, really want to know about. The Marine veteran who fatally choked out the New York City subway rider, John Neely. Remember the Michael Jackson impersonator?
Yes.
He surrenders to manslaughter charge. He is going to be charged with manslaughter, and I think rightfully damn so. He, a U.S. Marine veteran who used a fatal chokehold on an agitated fellow passenger on the New York City subway, turned himself into authorities on Friday on a manslaughter charge that could send him to prison. Daniel Penny, 24, was expected to appear in court later in the afternoon to answer the criminal charges in the May 1st death of Jordan Neely. Penny didn't speak to reporters as he arrived at a Manhattan police station with his lawyers Friday morning. His attorneys have said he is acting in self-defense when he pinned Neely to the floor on the subway with the help of two other passengers and held him in a chokehold for several minutes. He wasn't acting in self-defense. He was being a jackass because that man didn't even say nothing to him personally, and that's crazy. A freelance journalist who recorded Neely struggling to free himself, then lapsing into unconsciousness, said he had been shouting at passengers and begging for money aboard the train, but had not gotten physical with anyone. Penny's lawyers have said he was threatening passengers, but haven't elaborated. Neely's death has raised an uproar over many issues, including how those with mental illnesses are treated by the transit system in the city, as well as crime, race, and vigilantism. Penny, who is white, was questioned by police in the aftermath, but was released without charges. Neely is black.
What are we feeling about this?
I feel like he should be charged. That man did not touch him. Mm-hmm. He was acting erratic.
Yep.
We know that from many witnesses. Mm-hmm. He was screaming and da-da-da-da-da. He may have even threatened. I don't know. Mm-hmm. He did say something, I think, in the video.
He said, I'm ready to die today.
I'm ready to die today. I don't mind going to jail for life. Da-da-da-da-da. Things that he said. But he did not physically attack anyone.
Yep.
And for this man to say that he was acting in self-defense and put him in a chokehold.
There was no self-defense.
There was no self-defense at all. It was ridiculous. And he killed this man. Who obviously was suffering from mental health issues. I think that he should face charges. Absolutely.
I 100% think that he should face charges. Nobody asked you to do that.
Nobody asked you to do that.
No.
Don't be a hero.
Yeah. And don't be a hero when there's no heroic situation for you to be a hero in.
Exactly.
Let's go to the clip to see what what Daniel Penny's lawyer is saying.
Here's the clip.
His attorney's office, he did so voluntarily and with the sort of dignity and
Drop it, bro.
integrity that is characteristic of his history of service to this grateful nation.
Oh, okay.
No. I think this is another classic case of a black man being lynched.
Yeah.
For no reason.
Yeah.
He was yelling erratically, but we see people yelling erratically and doing a lot of erratic stuff every day. They don't deserve to die for it. This man was a homeless man.
Yeah.
He was fed up of being hungry and not having a place to stay.
Right.
So how is it that this man is pretty much crying out for help, and he ends up dying at the hands of somebody that he had no interaction with at all? They said that Penny wasn't even near him.
Yeah.
So there was no even reason for him to come near him. And I think that he does need to be arrested.
Yeah.
He does need to go to jail.
Yeah.
That you can't just kill people because you feel like it. That's crazy. Where did they do that at? He was a veteran.
He just, first of all, we know Marines
loose
in the brain.
He's a Marine veteran, not just a veteran. He's a Marine
veteran.
That's the
he
top
kept
of the
that
chain
man
right
in
there.
a chokehold for 15 minutes.
Yep. Until he passed out. Like that. I don't get that.
With help and support from other people around him, he kept that man in a chokehold for 15 minutes.
Yep.
That is murder.
Yeah.
That is straight.
It's absolute murder.
Up and down murder.
Yeah.
Unless that man touched him, approached him, touched him physically, or was in deep threat of hurting them, there was no reason for that. There was no reason about it, and I'm pissed about it.
Yeah.
I'm pissed about it. It's
I
not
am
okay.
too. We do have one answer for the question of the day from Schneider.
Wait, let's save it.
I
Save it
thought
to
we were
the-
going to do it in between. Oh, no. All right. Let's go on then. The mother of the 6-year-old shooter finally opens up. We know this is a 6-year-old shooter that shot his teacher. The mother has finally opened up and broken her silence. Deja Taylor, the mother of the 6-year-old who shot and injured his first grade teacher, finally spoke out in an interview with ABC's Good Morning America. Taylor was previously charged with felony child neglect as a result of her son obtaining her firearm, per the Associated Press. Authorities say Taylor's firearm was legally purchased and, according to her attorney, was secured on the highest shelf of her closet with a trigger lock. There are still no details as to how he got a hold of the gun, but alas, he brought the firearm to school and into Abigail Zwiener's class, where he shot a bullet through her hand and into her chest. Taylor told GMA her son has a more severe case of ADHD, describing her son as off the wall and unable to sit still. Because of his behavior, the child was enrolled in a plan at school requiring a family member to accompany him to class every day, though the week of the shooting was the first time he didn't have an escort. She explained he was showing improvements after starting medication is the reason he didn't have an escort. And then for more details, you can go ahead and follow that story on The Root. What do you guys think of that?
No.
No.
Nope.
No.
No. As the news has described him, the child had a little bit more problems than this ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
And we cannot, and I think this is why things like ADHD has such a bad rap, because it makes it seem like these kids are so completely out of control that there's nothing that you can do about it.
Yeah.
That's BS.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is 100% BS.
I don't know.
He has to be accompanied by someone. Just because you see a day or two of him doing better on medication does not mean that you drop that.
Was that her choice? Because I know when I was on medication, my mother had to be in contact with my school nurse and my doctor for them, in order for them to say something in order for them to say that I don't need supervision, they would all had to be my mother, my school nurse, and my doctor. They all have to be in communication.
Yeah.
And especially this says that it required him to have somebody accompany him every day. Yeah. But the week of that shooting, he didn't have anybody.
Do you guys think that this 6-year-old was planning this? Like,
they said that he was a little tyrant. They said that he had threatened the teacher a few days before. Mm-hmm. He had threatened other kids. Wasn't he chasing somebody around?
He had hurt another teacher. He choked her out or something like that.
Yeah, so he
I don't know if he planned it, but I know that he shouldn't have been in school by himself, not accompanied by a parent.
He was mad at her for something, though, that had happened the day before, I think.
The teacher?
Yeah, he was mad at the teacher for something. So it could have been a little...
I mean, the fact that she said that the gun was in a high place, locked with a thing on, and he happened to be able to get it from there, unlock it, and then also proceed to shoot his teacher. He's 6.
Yeah.
So that's the problem that we are having. He's 6. Can a 6-year-old think that much? Or is it just, I feel like it was all impulsive. Like, I hate my teacher, I'm going to shoot her in school.
Do you think it was impulsive, or do you think he was like at home, was like, I hate my teacher, I'm going to shoot her at school?
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that and there was a lot of speculation about what this family looked like, who this family was.
It's very interesting.
We see now that Deja looks to appear to be a woman of color. YouTuber Trevor Jacob. This is so weird. Trevor Jacob is accused of intentionally crashing his plane for views. For views.
I can see it.
For views.
I'm not surprised.
He crashed his federal investigation. He crashed his plane in 2021 in California. He uploaded the 12-minute video of the crash to his YouTube channel. He received nearly 3 million views. Prosecutors claim that he never planned on reaching his destination and that the plan was always to crash the plane, and that he lied to federal investigators about not knowing the crash location. Yeah.
Oh.
Prosecutors claim he flew in a helicopter and hoisted the wreckage out of the remote area, then dismantled the aircraft with the goal of obstructing the investigation. He's also accused of lying to the FAA, which revoked his pilot's license last year after the crash.
I fully believe it.
Yeah.
This is interesting.
Do you have the video?
This is what people are doing now.
Yeah, because if you think about it, people are doing all kinds of foolishness just for views.
Get out of the engine out. You can hear Trevor Jacob claim in the video that his engine malfunctioned before he jumped out with a parachute. This happened in December. Deliberately crashing the plane to make a video. I'm over the mountains and I get out of the engine out. You can hear Trevor Jacob claim in the video that his engine malfunctioned before he jumped out with a parachute. This happened in December. The FAA revoked Jacob's pilot's license, saying he made no attempt to restart the plane's engine or contact air traffic control. Jacob, however, is pushing back against those claims, saying that he did not jump out of his plane. For more views on YouTube.
Jacob is a whole liar.
Jacob, yes you did, Joe.
Yes you did, because you jumped out with a parachute and you turned the camera to face you while your plane was crashing.
And was filming for 12 minutes.
For 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
No. And I think that's what the problem is. I blame social media, because social media has these people thinking that the only way they can make money is if they do foolishness. Yeah. And this is exactly what he did. That could have ended up really, really wrong. And that's why I feel like he planned it, because they know that you was quick. You was quick to abandon that plane and jump out.
Yep.
It just happened to be a beautiful view, a beautiful setting, and you didn't get hurt.
Yeah. What's going on with the world? This last story. A Colorado mom sues the school that recruited 6th graders for a secret after-school gender and sexuality club. Erin Lee tells Harris Faulkner her daughter was told she was joining an art club, but it was a secret after-school gender and sexuality club. A Colorado mother said her daughter was among a group of 6th graders recruited to a deceptive after-school art club that turned out to be much more than it seemed. When she got there, she very quickly learned it was actually a gender and sexuality awareness club. Wow. The art teacher had invited an outside presenter into the classroom that day, and this woman did absolutely unthinkable things with the kids.
Like what?
Lee explained that the guest presenter proceeded to use flags to describe umbrella terms and told the students they were transgender if they were not fully comfortable with their biological sex. The presenter also told students that they could describe themselves as queer if they had not figured out their sexuality. She talked to them about polyamory. Wow. She told them that these new labels that they had just adopted made them more likely to commit suicide, and talked to them extensively about suicide. The presenter also allegedly discussed puberty blockers and cross-sex hormones, warning those in attendance that their parents may not be safe people to turn to as they struggle with certain identities. The speaker runs an organization called Skittles for kids 5 to 11.
5 to 11
to discuss gender and sexuality, Lee said, noting that her daughter's art teacher pulled her aside and told her, "You don't have to tell your parents."
Holy smokes.
Lee said the other parents came forward with complaints, went as long as a year without knowing about the secret after-school club since their children abided by the rules and refused to tell anyone what happened during the meetings. Faulkner, who is the district attorney, I guess, said the district did not respond to a request for comment on the lawsuit. Lee first made allegations last year. It's the Wellington Middle School, don't send your children there, and the Poudre School District.
To accept
You ready?
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
a certain point of view.
Right.
Rather than focusing on learning.
I want to teach Shakespeare, not gender ideology.
The fact of the matter that no teacher should have to lie to parents really about anything.
Even some teachers are against those policies that shred parental rights when it comes to gender transitioning. School districts in more than 24 Democrat-led states pop up the map are telling their staffs that they can or should keep a student's gender choice hidden from their parents. 2 Colorado families are suing the Poudre School District. They claim teachers recruited their little 6th grade daughters to join a secret club that encourages gender transition. Our team reached out to the Poudre School District for comment. We're still waiting to hear back. So far, nothing. Erin Lee is the mom of one of those girls in that secret club. She's here with Pam Bondi, the former Florida Attorney General who is representing the families in this case. Great to have you both. Erin, first of all, what did your child tell you was going on in this club?
Yeah, so she was new to school. She's a shy, introverted kid. And one regular Tuesday, her art teacher asked her to stay after school for art club. And so we gave our consent for her to attend art club that day. But when she got there, she very quickly learned it was actually Gender and Sexuality Awareness Club. And not just that, but the art teacher had invited in an outside presenter into the classroom that day. And this woman did absolutely unthinkable things with the kids. She used flags to describe umbrella terms, telling the kids if they're not fully comfortable in their biological sex, that means they're transgender. She told them that queer is a term to use when you're still figuring out your sexuality. She talked
What
about
would you do?
She told them
I just think that it's so inappropriate. I think it's so inappropriate, and I think it's so like if that's what you're gonna do, I feel like you should just make it known that that's the type of club that you are sending your kid to. And as a parent, if my kid ain't telling me something that happened in a little secret after school club, then I might have to go down and ask a couple of questions. Yeah. How can we let this, what is it, for a year? How can we let this go by for a year without knowing, for you guys to now find out after a year that these kids have been learning things that you may not be comfortable with? That's crazy.
Janice said LGBTQ plus meeting. These kids knew what they were doing. I have 3rd graders asking me to call them a they them pronoun.
I've heard stories about these kids, these babies, just kind of. I feel like they're just kind of. I don't even know. I feel like they just don't even know what they're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're educated enough, and I don't think they can even process things. It's just so weird and different these days.
It is.
I don't know, man.
I think we give people too much. I don't know.
Yeah. Do you want to go straight into the entertainment?
Or we could just go into the store. You said you had a couple of things.
We do have a couple of answers here.
So the question is, repeat it.
The question is it better to become friends and then lovers, or lovers and then friends? Very, very interesting question. Schneider says, friends who genuinely care about you make tremendously better partners than the lovey-dovey rom-com type love that fizzles out and ends in divorce in 10 years. Schneider also said, would you marry your jump-off? Would you marry your jump-off? That's an interesting question. Wanda says, I think lovers then friends, because if it ends, you can remain friends. The other way around, the relationship could end the friendship. Lovers then friend, tighter bond. I agree with Lawanda there.
What did she say?
That. She said lovers and then friends, because if it ends, the relationship ends, you can remain friends.
Yeah.
The other way around, the relationship could end the friendship. Yeah. Lovers then friends is a tighter bond. I agree with that.
I 100% agree with that.
Janet said, I would not marry my jump off. They were a jump off for a reason, jumped on and then jumped off. That is their role.
Janet, what exactly are you talking about?
Janet is Scorpio to the max.
Because what, Janet, you don't want to answer the actual question that we asked?
She's answering Schneider's question.
Oh.
Because Schneider said, would you marry your jump off?
Oh.
Dilbert Kelly, strangers are friends who you haven't met yet. Friends are lovers who know the rules, and lovers are contracted till death do we part. So friends first, hey, know the rules. That's from Uncle Grandpa. Then Schneider says, but Janet, they know you too well to roll. And
which question are we going back to Schneider on?
Schneider is going back to Janet's answer to his question.
To which one?
Would you marry a jump off?
Let's stick to the question that we have.
All right. I don't want to train no gigolo into a house hubby. I don't know what that means. Monkey see, monkey do, and these damn
gigolo, manhole.
Gigolo.
She don't want to train no manhole into a house husband. She don't want to turn no manhole into a housewife.
So I think that was back to the
jump off question.
The jump off question. Yeah. Triz, what do you think? Lovers and friends, or friends and then lovers?
I don't mind being friends and lovers. Friends because you understand each other more. We've experienced. The majority of the time you've been friends much longer than you've been lovers. So if you've been friends, that means you know me better than most people know me if we're going to turn into lovers. So
Do you think that could be a hindrance in some way?
No.
Because your friendship lines now have to cross over into lover lines.
No.
And the things that were allowed during your friendship are no longer allowed during your...
As a grown adult, I believe if you are in a relationship with somebody and the relationship ended and it didn't end in a situation that was toxic, it was bad, it was on a mutual stance, then we should absolutely be able to remain friends. We don't have to have the same relationship. Obviously, it's not a sexual relationship.
Yeah.
It's not an intimate relationship, but it's a friendship nonetheless. So I believe that you should be able to absolutely maintain a friendship. If you are a true adult and you're mature enough, you should absolutely be able to maintain a relationship as a friendship after the fact.
I see what you're saying. And what about you, Tony? Did you answer?
No, for me, I feel like it's good to be lovers and then friends. I would hate to lose a really valuable friendship. Because we tried something and it didn't work out. Along the same lines as what LaWanda said, your expectations of your friends are different from your lovers. And I also feel like I said, once you cross that line of being friends and then lovers, there's some things that you can't go back to.
Yep.
And then there's a lot of things that you're like, nah, we're in a different space. You can't come at me like that.
Also, you do if you're in a relationship with somebody, we do exchange a lot about both parties exchange a lot about each other. So it's like to act like you never knew that person before, to act like it's kind of wild.
It is very wild.
Yeah.
It is very wild. You both, and you would think that going into a relationship from a friendship, I felt that, it sounds like it should be easy, but I think that you let so many, things that your friend would do, but it couldn't be me. Right. And then when you get into these situations, you like, oh shit, it's me. So I think that I think that if you are going to take that leap from being friends into lovers, you got to literally rearrange your relationship. But I think that the other way around, starting out as lovers, as you spend more time together and as you get to know each other, you start to grow into a friendship that even if the lover part doesn't work, you can still fall back on that friendship a little bit. So it's very interesting. What my ignore game is, what should I say? Your expectations for your friends are different for your lovers. It's a thin line. I agree with that. Yeah. Oh, that was a good way to end the show. I like it. Good little incentive. You guys think about it. Start your group chats and stuff. Ask the same questions. See what they come up with.
I mean, a lot of my former lovers is my bestest friends.
Yeah, man. Listen, I am friends with every single one of my exes. Every single one. We are better as friends. We are very, very better as friends. Believe that.
Yeah. Me and my ex-husband, we might be best friends right now. To be honest,
in this stage,
in this stage of life, he might be my best friend. It's weird.
Anyways, people, thank you guys for joining us for another dope week of Saucy and Friends. We had a lot of great people in here, from Shagun to Jenny to Joseph and now to Rob. It's been an amazing week, and we thank you guys so much.
I made it to Rock City Pizza yesterday.
You did?
I did. I went to Rock City Pizza. I had the buffalo chicken pizza. Sorry, Sauce couldn't participate in that. There was a target of blue cheese on the top of it, so she could not have any. But
she called me from Russia. She's like, you got to find something else.
Yeah, it was delicious, and I did get my Rock City salad with steak and chicken.
Oh, how was the steak tips?
Ooh, them steak tips was tender.
I had one too. Tender. I stole one right from under her salad, and
it was delicious. And we had the French fries, which were crispy and nice, and the staff there at Rock City Pizza, amazing.
I must say we had a lot of black excellence on the show.
We did.
A lot of black excellence.
Man, we did.
I feel elite.
Me too. I feel like we in the in the club.
Yeah,
yeah. I hope these people remember us.
I know,
right?
Seriously, honestly.
Anyways, people, thank you guys for joining us. Have a great weekend. It's going to be beautiful.
Before we get out of here, happy Mother's Day to
Thank
you, Sauce. Happy Mother's Day to you, Tony. Happy Mother's Day to my mother, to my godmother, to all my aunts, and everybody, all the women's out there. Happy Mother's Day.
And happy first Mother's Day to our cousin Imani.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing.
And all the new moms out there that brought in babies. Yes, people.
Yes.
Have a great weekend. Be safe, be kind, be real, and
be loved.
Be loved and be outside.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Saucy and Friends in the morning with Miss Hot Sauce, Miss Tony, and Rockstone Triz.
The all new Spark FM. Log on to sparkfmonline.com.